Bob's Rock. It's an interesting natural stone outcrop behind Cemetery Road in Stapleford, Nottingham. And the name is said to originate from 11th century Norman landowner Robert de Harris. Now, Bob's Rock is one of many outcrops in the area made up of red sandstone, which was deposited over 200 million years ago. And Bob's Rock is the largest, or the third largest, stone outcrop in Nottinghamshire. And nearby Sandyacre and Sandycliff are named after the sandstone rock structures around this part of the Erewash Valley. Now, this underlying sandstone layer of the Erewash Valley has created natural aquifers in which the water seeps through and is filtered by the rock and is held by the sandstone and the harder rock layers below. Now, these aquifers have been tapped since the late Victorian period, and they're inconspicuous pumps between Stapleford and Sandyacre which supply much of the drinking water of the area. I guess very similar to the reservoir at Catstone Rock. Now, the cleared area surrounding Bob's Rock once was a brickyard sometime in the past, but now is some kind of cycle track. And the front of the rock has three recesses, one large cave-like one and two small ones. When standing on top of the rock, it gives an amazing panoramic view of the landscape of the area, despite the trees. I imagine before the trees and the buildings it was amazing. Now, one of Bob's Rock claim to fame was the preacher John Wesley, who actually did sermons on top of the rock to miners and farmers. And John Wesley was an English evangelist, and he preached out in the open because most of the parish churches were closed to him. And Wesley continued doing this for 50 years, taking his stand in fields, in halls, cottages, anywhere he could, when the churches wouldn't receive him. And I think he appeared at Bob's Rock on more than one occasion with his sermons. Now, to get to and from Bob's Rock, you have to pass through Stapleford Cemetery. It opened in 1881 and is on Cemetery Road and covers about 4 acres. And I didn't notice any ancient or old yews on the site. I suspect they only grow on ancient church sites, and this is a fairly new one. Anyway, I digress. The Cemetery Chapel and Mortuary were gifted to the people of Stapleford in 1880 by Mr. Joseph Fairfield, and it's Grade 2 listed. Now, the chapel and the mortuary are linked by an archway. It has an octagonal spire, and the cemetery bell was cast in 1885 by the Taylor Bell Foundry, 134 years ago, and it weighs more than a ton. And it's recently been refurbished to full working order and will ring again for the first time in almost 5 decades at a cost of over £8,000. And it was restored by the original suppliers. They've been going a long while.